right. We are going to watch Some Kind of Monster, the Metallica classic that was like released in like 2004 or something.
It really?
Yeah, I was living in Queens at the time and I saw it in the theater. And I dug it. So it's been a while since I've seen it. So Steve and I will watch it, review it, and then as a bonus, we're going to like watch the movie and comment on it, and I'll include the comments as a bonus part of this podcast. So Steve is finding it on Netflix. It might take a while. It's somewhere there. And next time you hear us, we'll be talking about if we liked it, if we hated it. We've seen it. We've both seen it like a billion times, but it's been a while since I've seen it, so it'll be nice. Be nice to be refreshed on it. So, he's starting it 99%, 99%, 100%. Here's the intro. Okay, we're recording. It's the next morning, and I crashed at Steve's, and we were watching Some Kind of Monster, but then Steve passed out. So I stopped recording.
Sorry.
But then he woke up and said something, so I started recording. But then he passed out again. But I think we've seen this movie enough times to give a review, even though we didn't watch the whole thing.
I've seen it more than a normal person should have seen it.
Yes. As we've seen Year and a Half in the Life, as we've seen Cliff 'Em All, as we've seen... Well, Through the Never I haven't seen too many times. But that was still really good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, but there wasn't really a narrative to it. But it was still really good.
Yeah, I feel like the only reason I can't watch that again was because we saw it in the theater with like 3D and the sound. Like, it doesn't compare, to watch it on TV.
That was a great experience, too. Just a great concert film, the way it was shot.
It was awesome. I think it was very underrated.
Yeah, it didn't do well. It didn't make that much money, which sucks. Cause
people don't want to pay money to see a concert in a movie theater.
I know, because they have it on their fucking computer now.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
Great effort by the boys. But we're not talking about Through the Never. We're talking about Some Kind of Monster. So what did you think of Some Kind of Monster, Steve? Make pretend you didn't fall asleep.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to talk about how my reaction to the first time I ever saw Some Kind of Monster.
All right.
I remember I was homesick from work one day, and I saw that it. I think I actually went to Blockbuster and rented it. That's how old it was.
Oh my god!
I went to Blockbuster and rented it
on DVD.
On DVD,
at least.
I wasn't homesick from work. I remember it was a weekend. I didn't want to go out, so I went to Blockbuster, rented Some Kind of Monster. Brought it home, popped it in, and I was watching it for like, I don't know. I think I got up to the part where Lars is being interviewed on his couch with all this fucking artwork everywhere, and his kid is like, "Daddy, Daddy," and he's like, "What, sweetie?" And he's biting his nails, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "This was before I got married and had kids." So at that point, I was like, what happened to my idols?
This is not my Metallica.
This is not my Metallica. This is not the people that I looked up to, all this time. And, with the fuck you attitude and the, now they wear, like, designer clothes and shit. And it's like, back then, I was very disappointed. And even more disappointed when I heard the album. The album came out before the movie, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yes.
So, like, I was just, like, double disappointed big time. And I dropped off listening to Metallica for a while because of both of those things, the album and the movie. But then, you get older and you go through some life experiences, and, I got married, I had a daughter, and I understand it. I get it. You know what I mean? And now I'm watching. Every time I watch it through different eyes.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it as a an adult that has been through marriage and had a kid, and I totally get it.
I think they were around 40 when this came out, right? So they're like
Makes sense.
They're around our age now, But I don't think they were ever. Even though you watch the older videos of them from the 80s and early 90s, they probably had those non-Metallica moments. They just weren't caught on camera.
Right.
You know, they probably went home and had to take out their garbage. Or, you know, they were kind of all
Metallica
married.
does not take out.
They don't take out their garbage. You know, and they probably had a bunch of family issues too. We just never saw it because they had this image, you know, of Alcoholica.
Yeah.
You know, Ozzy Osbourne got the same treatment when the Osbournes came out.
Oh yeah, that was a mess.
Because people were like, whoa, this isn't the Prince of Darkness, you know?
Yeah. Well, he was also like, I think, not to digress too much, but I think he was, you know, edited video shows you in a different light. And at that point, I think he was on like a ton of painkillers, you know.
Yeah.
He was addicted to all that stuff, and I think he was just more out of it than usual.
It was reality TV manipulation, too. Which I don't know if there was that much of it in Some Kind of Monster. I think Mustaine claims that there was, at least with his portion. And I'm sure, you know, with any documentary, there's going to be some kind of, they left this out, which explains this. I got to read that book. I must have said 1,000 times during the commentary, I got to read that book, man.
I didn't even know that book existed.
Yeah, because the book dives into...
like, the actual making of it.
The actual making.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, and, like, even what Berlinger and Sanofsky were going through, they were having kind of problems, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I think all the Phil Towel stuff and all the therapy kind of brought that out in them.
Man. That Dave Mustaine section was... going back to my original, you know, first viewing of it, I was devastated to see Dave Mustaine crying.
I loved it though. Like when I first saw it, that's what stood out to me.
I don't know.
When Mustaine poured his heart out to Lars, I thought, this is great. This is such a great breakthrough. He's finally getting a chance to tell them what he's been going through all these years. And it, like, I've heard people, and I've even thought of this. It's like, you know, just me struggling to just make a living as an actor. I remember when I first heard Mustaine say this, I'm like, dude, you're in Megadeth and you're complaining. Like, I would kill to have the success that Megadeth has.
Yeah.
But then you look at it from his point of view. He's probably such a perfectionist.
Right.
He's probably so hard on himself. He looks at being number 2 as a failure.
Well, also, think of it like this. Think of it like, you know, let's say, like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Let's say, like, Metallica in the early Kill 'Em All stages, before they released the actual album Kill 'Em All. Let's say they went to I don't know, let's say you played guitar and they went up to you and they were like, hey man, you want to join our band? And you were like, you know, I don't really like what you're doing too much. Now, present day, I'm sure Ron McGovney is kicking himself in the fucking ass. You know what I mean?
Right. But that being said, I don't think they would have reached the success they did if Ron McGovney was still in the band.
I know, but it's like, you gotta, like, if you look at Dave Mustaine and Ron McGovney, I'm sure when they released the Black Album,
or like even when Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning were kind of successful,
even that early.
It's like, wow, these guys are touring the world, and Ron McGovney's probably like, oh shit, I'm working, you know, in a warehouse somewhere, and these guys are touring the fucking world.
I know.
Yeah.
So I get it, you know, I totally get it, but, you know, like I said, watching it for the first time, I was like, fucking Dave Mustaine is crying. Like, you know, that was another one of my idols growing up, you know, someone that always seemed tough, like him and James Hetfield were like the tough guys, you know?
Yeah.
And now seeing them, you know, when you get older, you get so much softer, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not that. I think when you get older, you're tired of putting up that tough guy front.
Yeah.
Because all it is just a front for all the, you know, I'm not even going to say weakness, all the emotions that they've been feeling.
Yeah.
They put up this tough guy exterior to block that.
Yeah.
But of course it comes out. With James, it came out, and with Dave, it came out just with addiction and this bad behavior.
Yeah.
And now it's coming out as, shit, this is all the stuff inside me. I have to let it out. And they're doing that. They realize that when they get older, when they have families, when they have kids, it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
And it goes to show you, it doesn't matter how much money you fucking have.
No.
I mean, it's all about what's inside of you. Like, you have to take care of yourself. You got to be good to your family.
Yeah.
I mean, last night, that whole part in Some Kind of Monster when Hetfield goes to Russia instead of spending it on his kid's first birthday, that feels so weird.
I know.
That's like, I feel like, wow, dude, you're a dick. Like, you know, that's your firstborn, you know,
first birthday,
and you go off to Russia and drink vodka and kill a bear.
Yeah.
Like, give me a break, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember when I saw that, you know, I was in my 20s, and I was just, even then, I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, and that's when you knew that you have that feeling like, wow, dude, something's not right with this guy. You know, like he's all his priorities are out of whack.
But this was a guy his whole life. He's probably most of his life. Most of his adult life, he's never had a job, never had a real, you know, 9-to-5 job.
Right.
And he's kind of been catered to and just done what he's wanted.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now he has responsibilities. He's like, well, I don't want to do this. And he just fucking goes.
Yeah.
He goes, you know, but I'm sure he got a lot of shit.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that whole, from what you hear in Some Kind of Monster, he was given the ultimatum, like, from his wife. He was, you know, like, listen, take care of your shit, or I'm gonna fucking take half your money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm just gonna leave, and you're gonna be alone.
Yeah.
And sure, you can get a bunch of women, but it's, you know, there's still gonna be like an emptiness. To it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, not to get too personal, but like,
not to get too personal, but he's gonna get personal.
But I'm gonna get personal. You know, I've been married and I've been through divorce. You know, and then it's been like 3 years. You know, since I've been divorced, and you know, like I said, I have a daughter, and like, you know, after 3 years, you grow, and you reflect, and you think like, oh, you know, like, what could I have done to, like, you know, save this marriage? And looking at like Hetfield, the guy lucked out, man. His wife gave him that. You know, it was almost like that, and I don't know how many chances he got, but like his wife gave him that chance, and you know, good for him that he took it. You know, like, and he decided to, you know, look, this is, you know, I'd rather have my family. You know?
And good for her for being open to giving him those chances, because she could have easily said, I don't want this anymore. She had great grounds for divorce, and you know, she still would have been taken care of monetarily.
Yeah,
but,
I admire that too. You know,
yeah, like, she had the confidence in him to go, listen, this is what you have to do.
Yeah,
and he did it at the sacrifice of his band,
his music,
which, you know, arguably is, as well as his, you know, second to his family.
Yeah,
actually, like, he puts himself first. He said that in the documentary. He puts himself first, so he can take care of his family.
Exactly.
And his band.
It's
so,
like, dude, it's like the classic, you know, in the airplane, you know, they tell you right in the beginning, put the mask on first yourself so that you can take care of your family next to you. It's the same thing.
It doesn't mean being selfish and self-centered. It's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
It's being aware that you have to deal with you first in order to deal with the people, you know, that you may need to take care of, or you just may need to be around for.
Yeah, and it's I feel like that's the what's his wife's name? Francesca?
I think so. Yeah.
She's probably the only one that was able to stand up to him. You
Probably.
know what I mean? Like, and be like, look, you know, take care of your shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if Ulrich was like, take care of your shit, he would be like, fuck you, man.
Ulrich's been married like 3 times, so yeah. But but their personalities are so different,
right?
In that maybe Ulrich's a little more. I mean, I'm just speculating. I don't know them. You know, I know about them just through their music, but
it's fun to speculate.
Yeah, through their interviews, it seems that Ulrich is probably a little more stubborn than Hetfield, and Hetfield's a little more down home. Ulrich probably seems more liberal, you know, at least socially and politically, while Hetfield seems more conservative. But I know Ulrich, it seems like, this is what I want, and if I'm not going to get it, fine. If you want to come along, great. If you don't, I understand.
Yeah.
But I think Ulrich doesn't have the abandonment issues, obviously. Ulrich sounds like he came from a great family, you know,
which is weird that he's been through, you know, a bunch of wives. You know, I don't know how. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's weird. It's like, I don't think there's really a direct correlation. I guess, like, you can have a good family life and still.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we don't know. We don't know why. We don't know why he got divorced. But I don't know if you were asleep, but I did comment during the commentary that Ulrich's, I believe his first wife, Skylar, who's shown in the documentary.
Yeah, with the art.
Yeah, she's based. The movie Good Will Hunting was based on her. The Minnie Driver character in Good Will Hunting.
Get the fuck out of
here.
So
she dated Matt Damon in college, and Matt Damon based the character on Lars's first wife, because Lars's first wife was a doctor.
No shit.
Yeah, so isn't that funny? What a small world.
Well, and just to go a step further, remember the when they got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he had like his whole family there.
Yeah.
Each wife, each kid were all sitting at the same table. You know how fucked up.
Weren't they
that?
all like tall blondes too?
But you know, I mean, that's cool that you know, it's like, hey, you know, everyone, they all can, you know,
at least for that moment, put stuff aside and watch their icon, literally their icon as a father, get inducted.
Yeah,
which I still found weird, you know, that Trujillo is considered an icon. He's been in the band literally for like. But
what are they going to do?
They can't bring Jason back, at least at that point. They can't tell Rob, you just got to sit out here. So the only thing for them to do would be like, hey, I mean, Rob himself is, at least in the metal world, an icon.
Oh, totally.
His work in Suicidal.
He cut his teeth, man.
Oh my
you know
God,
what I mean?
yeah.
He paid
in metal.
dues.
In metal he did. Not in Metallica, obviously, but yeah. When he joined the band, when I found out he joined the band, I was like, perfect.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yes, I was, because I would see him when he played with Ozzy. You know, I've seen Ozzy like 5 times, and Trujillo was in the band. Trujillo was in the band. Mike Borden was in the band from Faith No More. Joe Holmes was the guitarist, and then Zakk Wylde was the guitarist. Just awesome.
Yeah, and you know, when you see the auditions in the movie, I knew right away.
Oh,
I was
my
like,
God.
Trujillo's got this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when they show like all the other guys, it just didn't seem right. But when you see Trujillo play, it's like, wow, man, there's no contest.
I am so glad they didn't get Jordy White, Twiggy Ramirez.
Oh, that just looked. He just didn't. The image didn't fit either.
Well,
you know?
he's a great bass player and he's a fantastic songwriter, but I don't know if you know, he was accused of rape.
Oh, really?
By his ex-girlfriend from 20 years ago. She was in a band called Jack Off Jill. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting her name, but when the whole #MeToo movement came out, she came forward and said, 20 years ago, Jordy was mentally abusive, physically abusive, and he raped me. So Jordy has been in Manson's band on and off for like 20-something years.
Right.
Marilyn Manson kicked him out of the band.
Wow.
You know, he said, you have to deal with this out. So can you imagine
Marilyn Manson kicking you out for?
Well, I mean, listen. I realize the stuff that Marilyn Manson has done, but it doesn't compare to, you know, allegedly raping your girlfriend. But so imagine if he was in Metallica, and Metallica would have had to have gotten another bassist.
Yeah, that's true.
Then Trujillo would have joined the band, and everything would have been.
Yeah, well, Trujillo seems like a stand-up dude.
Oh yeah,
you know? He's like and it's, you know what's cool about it is he's part of that. I don't know if he. I feel like he might be from L.A.
I believe he grew up in California.
Yeah, but he's still like part of that Bay Area thing. You know, like his daughter. I think he had mentioned that his kid's godfather is Mike Borden, the drummer of Faith No More.
Yeah,
and Mike Borden was best friends with Cliff Burton. Him and
Jim Martin.
They went to high school with Cliff Burton.
Yep.
So like there's this like incestuous thing going on, which I thought was cool anyway that they picked him.
Yeah. I mean, when I was back in my acting days, it became very incestuous because people started acting in other people's movies based on, you know, seeing somebody in this and that. It just, you know, none of us got near the level of Faith, obviously, of Faith No More, Metallica. But yeah, you're part of that community. You start to, you know, see the same people. And Trujillo and Borden were in Ozzy's band for so many years that I can see that.
And Newstead was in Ozzy's band.
Newstead was in Ozzy's band, that's right.
It's very incestuous.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I thought, so along with Mustaine and Ulrich stood out to me when Ulrich, just the whole fuck scene, where Ulrich was just like totally unloaded on Hetfield, saying, you know, I don't want to be like Jason. I don't want you to push me away. Like he really that scene stood out to me. And then Newstead's scene stood out to me. Just how raw and honest he was.
Well, yeah, it shows you in the beginning. Like Hetfield was a douchebag, man. He didn't understand. He didn't get it. You know, so you know. The stuff, the interviews that you see with Newstead, you're like, yeah, man, that makes complete sense, like what you're saying. And then when you see Lars, you know, with the whole fuck scene, it's like, yeah, that makes total sense. Like, the guy, Metallica does not revolve around James Hetfield, you know, and that's that whole conversation with, like, where Lars kept saying, the collective Metallica, meaning the managers and all this stuff. That is what they are. Like, that's what they've become. And Hetfield was like, I could see on both sides. Hetfield was like, this is a machine now, and it's not, it's not how it used to be. And Ulrich, obviously, he's like more of the business savvy guy. He's accepted it. He's like, this is how the music business is. This is what we signed up for.
In order for it to run, it has to operate
exactly.
That way.
Yeah,
it can't be, hey, this is my song, let's record it.
Yeah.
And the way they've done it, Metallica, they've tried their best to keep it like that because they bought, all the masters, they have their own label, but they still need management to kind of corral all the offers and make all the business dealings.
Well, they need all that shit. They need the accountants, they need the management, they need, they need PR people.
But it's kind of like that scene where Ulrich's talking about the collective, talking about the collective. It's totally, you could see their politics involved. Ulrich is very much a liberal, social, like a democratic socialist. He comes from Denmark, so he's about the collective. But Hetfield, just based on his life, he's more libertarian, conservative. I don't think he's as fucking crazy as like a Trump supporter, but he very much is. I lifted myself up by my bootstraps. I did this on my own. Exactly. Why can't you do it on your own?
Exactly.
I want to do this by myself. So you saw that clash between them.
And I got to give it to the the directors of the movie. You do feel that uncomfortableness when they get together to write in a room together, like on the spot. You just feel that you feel Hetfield. You feel like he's not comfortable with this. Like, he doesn't want to write in front of people.
No,
he doesn't. And you can see that the stuff that he's coming up with is not his greatest stuff because, look, you just threw the guy in the room. That's not how. It's not how most bands work. You can't just go in a room, jam out this shit, maybe some bands can do it, but Metallica, the way they run from day one, it's like, why fix something that's not broke?
I think it took sane anger to have them realize that, because with Death Magnetic and Hardwired, I think they kind of went back to, Hetfield writes the lyrics by himself, then he brings it, and then, they do
Lars helps arrange it.
I think Trujillo helped with the music.
On Hardwired.
On Hardwired, sure. With this point. But it's still Hetfield and Ulrich as the final say.
Yeah, I think Hetfield probably wrote every riff on Hardwired.
Yeah.
And then Trujillo, you can tell, like, all right, he wrote that beginning bass part in
was it Man Unkind?
Yeah, Man Unkind. Yep. And you can tell little things here and there, but for the most part, I think it was just Hetfield just wrote a shit ton of riffs, and Ulrich helped him arrange it.
And Hammett lost his fucking iPhone.
Yeah, Hammett had no input on it.
But then there were rumors that didn't Hetfield say that the stuff on Hammett's iPhone wasn't up to par anyway. Who knows?
Yeah, but you know what? It's weird. I remember you saying last night about how, what if Ulrich, not Ulrich,
what if Hammett
wasn't in the band?
Yeah.
Would they replace him? Would they get someone else? I don't know, man.
Oh, if Hammett died tomorrow.
Yeah.
Would they go on?
I don't know.
think so.
I don't think so either.
Because then they would become like a band like Leonard Skinner or Foreigner with one or two original members, or Slayer. Perfect example, Slayer.
Yeah.
Slayer lost two of their members.
It's not the same.
It's not. It's Kerry King and it's Tom Araya. Even though Bostaph has been in the band for a while, it's like you think of Slayer, you think of
who's the drummer, the Lamb of God guy, right?
No, I think Bostaph is back being the drummer. So
right.
Bostaph replaced Lombardo originally, then he left for a while.
But then they had the Lamb of God guy for like a
No, that was Megadeth.
Oh,
that was Megadeth.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was Megadeth.
Right,
yeah,
Megadeth, right.
So I think a band like Metallica can get away with the bassist. Replacing the bassist, but I think any more if Hetfield or Ulrich are gone, forget it. That's not Metallica. But if we lost Trujillo, I don't know. I don't even know if they would go on. They would probably be like, "Listen, we're tired of having this revolving door for whatever reason. This is maybe let's call it not call it Metallica.
Yeah.
Because then they become they become a joke. It's just a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke.
But with Hammett, he wrote some good.
Oh my God,
some
he
good
wrote
stuff.
Sandman. He wrote Sandman.
He wrote the main riff for Sandman.
Yeah.
But like, if you think about it, throughout all their albums, even though he didn't have like such a big hand in writing the bulk of the material, his solos are so fucking iconic.
Yeah.
Like, that guy knows how to write a solo.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hum the solos. I think we've talked about
We did, yeah.
He's such a crucial element of it, even though he doesn't write, the meat of the song.
He's technically proficient, which Hetfield. Well, no, okay, he still is. He still is.
I feel like he's just bored. I
don't know. I don't think his work on Hardwired is as bad as people say it is. I gotta really listen to it.
I feel
more and more.
Yeah, I feel like, and maybe it has to do with the music evolving and changing to become simpler, because they have definitely become simpler.
Of course, where the fuck are they gonna go?
Yeah. So like maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like, look, Master of Puppets was so demanding that he really thought out his parts and really, did his homework, man.
I do, man. Do my homework.
And even on the Black Album, like, those solos are so iconic and amazing. But I feel like after Black, well, there's some good solos in Load and Reload.
Yes.
But I think once you get past Load and Reload, I feel like because the music wasn't as technical and as demanding, it kind of like, I think he wanted to just like improvise a little bit and jam out. He turned into it became more bluesy.
Oh yeah.
More like more experimental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Lars was trying to be with his drums. I'm like, what the fuck? I understand doing. At least he was trying to do something different, but in the confines of rehearsal instead of putting it on tape or
what
on
you call
computer.
I'm trying not to call it regular.
Yeah, what you call regular. Yeah,
I call it solid.
Yeah, but like going back to Hammett. Also, I think his personality. Yeah, we talked about this before.
Oh, yeah, man. He's lukewarm water, dude, for sure.
If Hammett had... I said this during the commentary, but if Hammett had died instead of Cliff, who knows if the band personally would have stayed together. Like, maybe Hammett helped as far as, like, being the glue of the band.
Totally, I agree with that.
Because Burton may have had a stronger personality. Obviously, a stronger personality than Newstead.
Well, he was more... his friendship with Kirk Hammett was stronger than it was with everyone else. I think because from what I read in books, he would room with Cliff all the time.
Hammett would.
Yeah, Hammett would. And I think they were closer than... I mean, you hear about, like, Hetfield being close with Burton and stuff, but I think Hammett and Burton were the closest,
They were probably the two hippie guys in the band. Yeah. But like, it makes me wonder, because Newstead, he was the new guy, so he didn't really have that much authority, but Burton was with them from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and I think he had a stronger personality, and he was maybe able to get, Ulrich and Hetfield had the last word, but Burton had the musical capabilities to say, hey, let's try this and let's try that.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, writing-wise, if their personalities would have clashed.
I don't know. From what I've read, and again, speculating is fun. I feel like they all looked up to Cliff. They respected him so much that the final word was influenced by him.
Maybe,
I mean? I feel like, from what I've read, it was like, hey, does Cliff think this is cool? All right,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And not just because of he was musically gifted, but because of his personality, the way he handled himself, the way he...
Yeah, he was like more of the adult, I think. Yeah.
But he had this like very calm, like, fuck you attitude, like, we're gonna do what we want to do.
Yeah.
We don't care what anyone else is.
So it's like, if Cliff had lived, would they incorporate like jazz elements into their music or funk elements? Because knowing Cliff, he probably would have expanded his horizons and been like, hey man, let's try this, this 12/8 time signature. Yeah. So maybe, who knows? Maybe that would have been tension, but
I mean, to be honest, I feel like a lot of the really intricate, cool melodies are him. It's all that classical music that he listened to, like Bach. He was really into Bach.
Mozart and Bach. He was more of a Mach.
Mach piece. But I feel like I personally feel like if he was still with the band, they would still be going for a technical.
Yeah, maybe.
Very melodic vibe, and I think it would be cool.
Puppets was like only the beginning. That's what's so. I mean, aside from the fact that he's dead,
just think about what Justice for All would have been like with Burton.
Yeah. I mean,
because didn't he have a hand in writing some of that stuff?
I think it was he did To Live Is to Die.
The music or just the lyrics?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the lyrics are just like a poem that was kind of like based on Excalibur.
Right.
Remember the movie Excalibur?
Yeah, I do.
There was a scene with Merlin. I think it was Merlin, and he said when a man lies, he murders a part. I think that was in Excalibur. I remember when I saw Excalibur, I'm like, oh my god, that's To Live Is to Die. That's where fucking Burton got him from. He's probably watching Excalibur 1,000 times.
Yeah, but I mean, if he did write, I mean, I'd have to look. Well, let's just look on my phone.
What?
Let me see if he did have a hand in writing the music.
I think he did.
Because if that's the case, I mean, that is cool shit. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
So, but yeah, getting back to Hammond, I think you saw in Some Kind of Monster that he was kind of the glue between Hetfield and Ulrich. He was the guy who talked, not Bob Rock, not Lars. It was Hammond who talked to Hetfield, because Hetfield probably felt comfortable talking to Kirk when he was in rehab, because Kirk probably wouldn't have judged him like Hetfield. And you can tell how hurt Bob Rock was.
Oh, I know.
You could tell, because Bob Rock's like, well, what the fuck did I do? I didn't do anything. But I think Hetfield looked at Bob Rock, I don't want to say a father figure because they're around the same age, but like an authority figure. Bob Rock was the guy who would tell Hetfield, no, do this. Don't worry about what the guys in Anthrax and Megadeth say. Right. Do this. Come on. He pushed Hetfield further to do something great.
But I also think, Bob Rock being a producer, he's going to make money, so he's got money on his mind too. So I think Hetfield was kind of like, look, I don't want to talk to someone in the machine. I want to talk to someone that I grew up with, that went through the bullshit.
Right, and I don't think Bob Rock considers himself that, but I know where Hetfield is coming from.
Yeah, no, totally.
Because Bob came in, after Justice when they were already gigantic.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird, man. Like, their dynamic is, you would think that at this point they would be like close best friends, but I feel like when you're in a band for so long, you end up like, fuck, man, I need my space from these guys.
Oh my god!
When we're not doing the band, I don't want to fucking talk to these guys. Yeah, I don't want to see these guys.
They're together so much.
Yeah,
you hear stories of some bands. They go on stage, and then right after they go on stage, they just go their separate ways.
Yeah.
On stage they're fine, but it's like,
yeah.
So I've just comparing the acting stuff that I've done, I've worked with some people where it's like, I don't want to be with them. I'll do something creatively, but it's like I'm sickened to be with this person. I'll do their thing, but I don't want to see them. So in the band, it's so much worse because you have to travel with them.
Yeah.
At least, in a movie, it's like you spend like 12 something hours on a set for a couple of days and then you're gone.
Right.
So it's just like, multiply that by months and years. It's I get it. I get why bands break up.
It's your other family.
Yeah.
It's
you see them more.
Yeah, you see them more than your family, and you have to deal with their personalities.
And then you add like wives and girlfriends and managers, and you add all that into it. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, and. But I have to say, you got to hand it to them for finishing the movie and the album.
Yeah.
They went, at that there was a point in the movie where Lars Ulrich was like, then there were two left. I write albums, I don't finish them.
Yeah.
That's the essence of Metallica is. They went through all this bullshit, but they fucking finished it.
They did it, yeah.
And even though it was mixed reviews on the album, they did it. They said what they were gonna do. They went into the studio without anything written.
Yeah.
It took like fucking a long time to write because of rehab and all that shit, but they finished it.
They still did what they wanted to do.
They did what they wanted to do, and
Yeah. I still like Saint Anger. I don't like the sound.
the riffs are fucking awesome.
They're there.
Yeah,
they're there.
The riffs are great.
I wish it just would have been, edited a little bit.
I know, man.
I want them to maybe like St. Anger's 20th anniversary or 30th anniversary.
Re-record it?
Just fucking re-record it. Well, they kind of did that on when you bought the CD. They included a DVD where it's just them playing the album live.
Oh, wow, really?
So I'm trying to remember I don't think the drum was... I don't know if the drum still had that sound. I haven't listened to it in a while. But when you hear them do it live, it's like, this is good.
Yeah, like maybe they can release like a... Did they have an audio version of it or just a video?
I think it's just a video. You can probably see it online. Or it's like, when GarageBand came out... Not GarageBand. Like
days?
the like Rock Band or the Guitar Hero or whatever, one of those.
Yeah.
I think some St. Anger songs were on it, but I don't think they were like mastered the same way. So people took that and kind of fixed the drum sound on it. And there were like cover bands who re-recorded St. Anger with, normal sound.
Right.
And it's, it's good. I wish there were solos on it. I wish the vocals weren't as raw.
Yeah, well, and they were also experimenting with different tunings. They were playing the 7-string.
Yeah,
they did the drop D a lot.
Yeah, no solos.
Yeah,
Camet was so right.
You have to pause that because I have to take a shit.
So now that we're both cleaned out.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Mike had to take a shit too.
Yes, and coffee is great.
Yeah.
Coffee does wonders. Anyway, so.
Where did we leave off?
I don't even know, man. So let's just wrap it up. I would like to say that, I do want to say that, like, watching this again, and watching this closer, because it's been a couple of years since I've really watched it, like, you just see the emotion more, especially on Hetfield's face. You can tell what he's going through. And there were some moments where it's like, holy shit, the band's going to break up. Even though I knew, obviously, they didn't break up, but it's like, this could have been the moment where the band was done.
Yeah.
And they just said, let's just call it a day. You can tell that conflict that they had.
Yeah, like him, like Hetfield rolling his eyes.
Yeah, just the moments where he's sitting there. Yeah. We really should talk about Phil, though.
Yeah, you want to talk about Phil?
Yeah, like, obviously he was an important part of this movie as well.
No, I think so. I mean, I think he was a little much towards the end.
Well, he didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder, and I think in the book, it mentions that Phil has had issues with past clients in that the clients wanted to gets too attached. So the clients wanted to let him go, and he would say, well, I don't want to go. And you saw that with Metallica.
Yeah.
They're like, Ulrich's like, we are the client. When the client tells you, we don't want to, you have to go. And you can kind of tell that Phil, and I think there was a moment where like Hetfield showed how grateful he was to Phil, and you can tell that Phil looked like he was crying.
Oh, yeah?
And it's like, what fucking kind of therapist does that? Like, a therapist needs to be neutral and stable and a rock. And meanwhile, he's fucking crying through all this and handing him notes and trying to get involved. It's like, okay, like, I realize that if Phil helped bring the band together, but maybe they could have used someone a little less involved in their clients. Yeah. A good therapist shouldn't really know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Well, no, a good therapist should know what's going on, but not get involved in that kind of way.
Yeah, but you know what? I handed hats off to Hetfield and Ulrich for after being split apart through the whole movie. Towards the end, they come together and they're like, Phil, like the fact that management didn't talk to him and Ulrich and Hetfield can come together as a unit and be like, hey, we're the heart of this band. Like this is serious. We're telling you we can't do this with you anymore, So it took their therapist to help bring the band together to realize that they need to do this together to get rid of the guy who brought them together. Yeah, so he did play Of course he did. Of course he did. So that whole like the Zone It post-its, that was by that point I was like, this is ridiculous already. I'm not a fan of that motivational life coach stuff. I like, down home therapeutic kind of stuff, but all this mission statements and motivational things, it's just like it's something you see on Facebook and it's just like it's stock. It's stock. It is. It's stock. It's almost like I feel like it's like life coach 101. Yeah, it's like here's a template. that you follow.
Yeah.
It's
so funny. There's a show on HBO called In Treatment with Gabriel Byrne where he plays the therapist.
Oh, yeah, that's not on anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Dane DeHaan is in it he was in Through the Never. Yeah, he was great in that.
But it follows different clients, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but it shows Gabriel Byrne, he sees his own therapist played by Diane Wiest. And there was a line where Gabriel Byrne's character is like, I don't know, I just don't want to be a therapist. Or maybe I'll just be a life coach. And you see Diane Wiest go, what's a life coach? And he said, well, a life coach can get involved in people's lives and really, and really try and change things, where a therapist is more about listening and being neutral and saying, well, you have to figure this out yourself. And a life coach is like, no, do this, and that.
Right.
Which a therapist doesn't and shouldn't do anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like you can't be both. You can't. And that's what I think Phil was trying to be. And a life coach.
Yeah, he was making a hell of a salary.
Oh my god.
And I think it was when Hetfield and Ulrich said, "Well, you're planning to move here."
Oh yeah, right.
But he's like, "No, well, we're selling the house. We don't necessarily plan to move here if you don't want us to." So you can see Phil kind of backpedaling and
right.
So, but he did help. He did help with the band.
Yeah, he definitely helped,
And it was a good investment when you look at, even though they spent a crap ton of money on him, the money that they made after staying together since Saint Anger, I'm sure they made a lot more than they invested in film.
Yeah, now you know what I would have loved to see is the meeting between Newstead and the rest of the band when they found out they were getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I would like to see the discussion. I would like to see, because you don't see that really. You don't see you don't see videos of Newstead talking to Hetfield and Ulrich,
I think the Hall of Fame or Icon.
Hall of Fame.
So I think by the Hall of Fame
Icon was Trujillo.
Right. But I think with the Hall of Fame, I think they were kind of on good terms by then.
Yeah.
Same thing with the 30th anniversary shows.
Oh, yeah.
The 30th anniversary, was that after? That was before the Hall of... Was it before? I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
But I think they were on kind of good terms where... I'm sure there's baggage still with them, but I think they're a little more civil because they still have business dealings.
Yeah.
Because, Newstead's name's on, he probably gets a piece of the merch still.
Right.
He probably gets a performance royalty from the albums that are sold. Obviously, he has songwriting credit.
Yeah, he has credits on Black Album.
On the Black Album and just fucking wrote Blackened. So he has.
Really?
Yeah, Newstead came up with Blackened.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep. But,
wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he has. He wrote in Load and Reload.
I think I have to look, but yeah. So I recommend this movie even if you're not a Metallica fan, because it's just a great human story, and they made it for the non-Metallica fan.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it was. I feel like if I wasn't a Metallica fan and I watched it for the first time, I would have loved it.
Yeah.
Being that I was a Metallica fan, I watched it in complete horror.
Yeah.
These are my idols falling apart.
See, I looked at it like these are my idols, like my musical idols, but it shows that they're human beings.
They're human, exactly.
And see, I like that.
Yeah.
No one's not a human. Everybody's a fucking human being.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I caught on to that after I watched it a couple more times. When I got older. But back then, when it came out, that was my first reaction. I was completely devastated because, the people that you look up to, it hurts a little bit when you see that they're human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, there is no one that is, that I don't know that is infallible.
And this is why The Last Jedi is getting the reaction that it is. Because you have people going, this isn't my Star Wars. This isn't mine. I want mine. And they start fucking crying and wailing. It's the same thing with Metallica. When Metallica went from Justice to the Black Album, or even from Kill 'Em All to Ride Lightning, this isn't my Metallica. And I said this on my No Leaf Clover podcast, and I'm saying it now. You know whose Metallica it is? It's fucking Metallica's Metallica. Yeah. It's not our Metallica. We get to listen to them. Metallica is James Hetfield, Kirk Hammett, Lars Ulrich, Robert Trujillo. They are Metallica. Yeah. Not us. Get over it.
The first Metallica.
They're like the Metallica Mach 5. Oh, all right. Anyway, thanks for listening. Steve, do you have any website to plug or Tofu Mofo.
Yeah.
We're gonna plug Tofu Mofo.
Go ahead, plug it.
I don't know the I don't know the website offhand, but I'll put it in. Just Google TOFUMOFO. Google that, and the Bandcamp will come up.
Yeah.
Tofu Mofo is Steve's musical project, and the album is called The Songs. Go ahead.
I think it's Songs in the Key of Fuck You.
An Angry Commuter's Companion.
Yeah,
he doesn't even know his own fucking album.
It's been so long.
I know this album more than he does because I actually listened to it. It's fucking great. If you hate your job, and you hate your commute, this is the album for you. It goes into those issues. Steve, I think, was in a pretty dark place when he wrote this.
Yeah, big time.
And he wrote it on GarageBand. You know, he wrote it while commuting to work.
I wrote it on the subway.
On the subway, crowded with tons of people, waiting with hipsters. And the subways when he lived in Queens.
People in suits.
Talking on their cell phones.
There's actually a song called Asshole in a Suit.
Asshole in a Suit. Steve is angry. So listen to that album, buy it. Give him some money, for God's sakes.
Seriously, I need ramen noodles.
He needs ramen noodles.
Ramen.
Raymond. And he needs revenue and ramen noodles.
And I need to pay the child support.
Yes. So buy that album, and I'll put a link on our on the links when I post this. And I am Mike Lane, and you can find me at Mike Lane Act. That's MikeLaneAct on Twitter. Mike Lane Actor on Facebook. Mike Lane Act at yahoo.com. And share, comment on this podcast.
And hire this guy. He's a great actor.
Yeah, hire me.
Hire him.
Thank you. And until next time, everyone. I think I may want to do Cliff 'em All next.
Yes, I'm down.
We're down with Cliff 'em All. We're down with Cliff 'em All. Hopefully, one of us won't fall asleep next time. But we have enough for the commentary, and you'll hear the commentary right after this. So enjoy the commentary, for most of it anyway, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye. One of the directors died, right? Recently?
Really?
I think so.
I don't know.
Blackhand. That's a cool logo. That's their record label now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No more Elektra. Dun, dun, dun. Radical man.
Dun, 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 dun.
90 million since 81. God.
Zach. Is that Zach?
Zach who?
He's a guitar tech.
Oh, I thought he was a Lego maniac. I mean, yeah.
No, he's
Ego?
He's the studio manager now.
Oh, okay.
But I think he was like the bass tech.
I wonder if the journalist thought, this is still a demo.
Yeah. Well, what was the album before this one?
Album before this
Reload?
one was Reload. The last studio album was Reload. They did Garage Inc.
Right.
But as far as new songs, it was Reload.
Because the sound totally changed from Reload.
Oh my God, yeah. But I wonder if what the journalists are thinking, if they're just nodding along with it just to play nice, or if they're I wonder what they were really thinking. Because, the sound of the album obviously isn't good, but, I still think that the songs, if they were edited a little bit, are, still good.
Yeah.
Wow, so this was 18 years ago.
I really love that they show the old footage in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's
Well, this is the stuff you would see on Cliff 'em All.
Yeah,
the Stone.
It's cool. You get to see each era,
Yep. The evolution of James's voice. I don't know how he sang like that night after night. And the evolution of Kirk Hammett's suits.
That's Justice. That's
the
Justice period.
It's you could tell how much his voice changed between.
That's Black Album.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Black Album. I miss Newsted's backing vocals. The Mohawk mullet.
That's Load Reload, right?
That was Woodstock '94.
This is
That's Load. That's the Load tour. I saw them on that. Oh, that was such a great concert. The artwork is really good.
Yeah.
You know, even the Fist, you know, the Fist album cover.
Yeah.
Wow, 17 years ago.
I miss MTV News.
Yeah.
I used to get so excited when, you know.
I remember when I first heard Peace Cells, I'm like, wow, why are they playing the MTV News song?
Asked by MTV News if there's a replacement waiting in the wings.
Is that Gideon Yago? Gideon Yago?
Yeah. Did they ever have like a news show? Like
The Week in Rock, yeah.
It was all those little news clips of the week all in one show, yeah.
Yep.
Artistic expression.
This fucking guy.
So, I mean, this is right.
Well, I guess that fucking guy helped get the band back together, right?
Metallica through Q Prime Management.
Zone It.
After having
Zone It.
worked with another band of theirs,
So,
called and said that Metallica-
I want to read the book about this because the book goes into more detail. But I listened to Some Kind of Monster book. It's about the shooting of the movie.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's
I
called
didn't
Some
know
Kind
that.
of Monster.
It's about the shooting of the movie?
Yeah. So I listened to Metal Up Your Podcast, which is a Metallica podcast.
Yeah.
So one of the hosts read the book, and he said that like it just went into super detail about how Phil Towle, like his past couple of clients, would like fire him because he became too attached to them, which is like the problem he kind of had with Metallica.
Yeah.
There's an intimacy. Wondering if that's going to get lost.
Man, their face just shows it. His face shows it all, man. He's not
Hetfield?
happy, man.
Yeah.
He hates the situation.
Yep.
What intimacy? What the fuck you doing?
And meanwhile, Phil was coming off
No matter whether
not getting Rage Against. He was helping Rage Against the Machine
Oh,
try and get
really?
back together. Yeah.
you guys are free enough
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. That was in that interview, that Lars interview,
One of those. Yeah.
where he said that it was
Obviously
Tom Morello that offered
Yeah.
or referred him, you know.
Yep. But yeah, he got in like I think it was either litigation Phil Towle because he wouldn't let a client go
Yeah.
or something weird like that. Yeah, that would. I don't know. Who would want to live in an old military barrack?
In San Francisco. And this is going to be the location where Metallica is going to.
Oh, that does look kind of nice.
Their next album. Don't paint the walls. Don't do anything. Just keep it Spartan. Keep it crude.
Yeah, and look what it produced.
I think that would be the answer for like everything. Yeah, but look, we produced. But I mean, if it wasn't for that album, they
To come out on
probably wouldn't be together.
Yeah.
It was a reflection of the moment.
Approach this record differently. I mean, did you talk about things? Did you have ideas?
We didn't actually set up for recording. We just threw a mic anywhere.
Not bringing a riff, not bringing a song, not bringing.
That must have been weird for him.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Me and James did not meet
James and I.
someone.
The idea is it should sound like a band getting together in a garage for the first time.
Well, they were right in that. That's a 7-string, right? It looked like he was playing a 7-string.
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Yes.
I can't believe this was like 17 years ago.
When you're a famous guy. When you're a famous guy.
Famous gay.
Yes. Wait. So what?
Bam, I really like this. Bam, this is cool.
It's like a dildo.
They already wrote that song. They can't do that.
He was just
I know.
trying to. Yeah, he's using
Filler.
like.
Filler.
He's,
That's bad news.
yeah, is that a 7? That's a 7-string.
Yeah.
Works.
Uh,
I like this thing.
I think that's when Hammett first started getting hair plugs.
My interest in art.
I would never want to buy art like that.
Metallica. Is not
Like, I never understand why that's so much money. It looks like something your daughter would do. Yeah, 7-string.
When you're surfing, it's just you, man.
I wouldn't mind to try surfing. That must be scary though. Like first, like you hit a wave like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You get pulled under, man.
Yeah.
So,
underfro.
yeah.
We used to go to the beach and Steve had an afro as a kid. And we called it the underfro instead of the undertow. And we would see Steve's fro in the ocean.
I'm growing it back.
Growing it back?
Yeah.
Nice.
You want to hear it with vocals?
Go sing.
Go sing it.
You guys had some real. I don't give a
Ha.
fuck. Tired of art.
No, you're not.
You couldn't talk about his lyrics.
I wonder what Hammett would look like with a skullet.
In the past, what we did was then me and James would sit down and turn those ideas
James and
into
I.
song. When to-
Lars kind of had a skullet.
There was never
Yeah,
any
totally.
just other way.
Like, why would they do that? Just to try something new or make James feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, why did they do that?
I guess to do something different. Like Kirk's probably so jazzed about it because he's really contributing.
Yeah.
I think they did the final recording with him holding the microphone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Of course, it's the voice of Silence No More. Because it's a voice. When it's speaking, it's not silent.
Some kind of monster.
I like that.
Like, this song has a good groove to it. You know, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Like, when they perform these songs live, they sound cool.
Yeah.
Because it has, like, proper sound.
We come now to
It's a mission statement.
and collective
Wow.
journeys, sometimes through pain and
Mission
conflict,
statement.
we've discovered the true meaning of family.
The mission statement.
Mission?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mission is
It's like
sets a
goal.
Goal.
Like just
He's like,
He's like, oh,
psyched.
shit.
So psyched.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep last night.
He's just, oh, you could say Hamid's so happy.
still wired from that.
Kirk happy. Ah! The fucking eye roll. Yeah, I gotta read that book. It probably
I
goes
didn't realize it was out.
Yeah, it's been out for it came out like when the movie came out, I think.
shit.
Yeah.
His name's Phil Towell.
Towel, yeah, right? Towle.
Yeah, it was like
Towel.
a bottle of water here on the table. It was like,
Oh, get high. When you go in a hotel room, make sure to bring your own towel.
And call Phil. Towel.
it was like
It was terrible hearing that.
Yeah.
It was his son's birthday.
Yeah, man.
His son's first birthday.
Yeah, man.
take it
He effed up.
They had been hibernating for 3 months, so they had a piss.
He'd rather go kill a bear.
Why would he kill a hibernating bear?
Third day, I killed my mom.
Jesus.
I worked on lyrics since I
This guy's beatnik dice.
Oh, that's so bad.
It's very rough, very raw.
Oh my
Well,
god.
they definitely. That's why they didn't use it. I think, but like, wait, when it gets heavy. Let's see, wait. Like, I didn't think Bob Rock's performance was that good on this album.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like the sound of the bass and like, or the playing. The heavy part's pretty good.
Yeah. Turns into like the Doors.
Yeah,
Right?
totally.
It's like Jim Morrison.
Yeah. It's definitely not Metallica
Oh
sounding.
my gosh.
I mean, aside from his voice being out of key, I don't know. I probably liked it more than anything on Saint Anger.
So what are the reactions?
Dark.
Well, of course, we had a little vodka to Castor, you know, the little shot for him and everything. But
I'm sure he appreciated that.
Yeah.
Those guys
Oh, Jason was great in this.
Yeah.
with many, many things.
Of all time.
Yeah. I said that was fucking lame.
Not to have children and do those kind of things.
Music is my children.
It come to fruition.
This is what he left Metallica about. Oh.
Well, it was more than
My
that.
main cat.
I think even if there was no Echo Brain, he was just sick of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just sick of just the way he was treated.
If I took this other project to this level.
It wasn't about money.
That's a great goatee, man.
It is pretty good.
Great.
It's very even.
You know,
Do you want me to see how late this
everybody
fucking
else
place is
and
open?
You wanna get burritos?
Getting burritos?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes, go.
weak. We cannot get together.
Us.
With the biggest heavy band of all time.
What is he, Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Things we've been through and decisions we've made.
Squillions.
Squillions of dollars.
Squillions of people.
Remember their Playboy interview in like 2000?
Was it more than
It's pretty candid. I think, from what I remember, they were bad mouthing each other.
Oh, yeah.
anyone to leave Metallica. I didn't want
Definite abandonment
feel that
issues.
Yeah.
we weren't enough.
Obviously.
Something like that. Don't leave.
Is that a band?
You know,
Triumph?
You have to stay.
No, I think it's motorcycles. Well, there was a band named Triumph from Canada,
Sounds
but
familiar.
I'm young, I'm wild, and I'm free. Magic power. Got the magic power of. They have an album called Allied Forces. The cover is really awesome.
It's too stock.
Yeah.
That sounds so stock.
Oh, the music has a groove.
Get a pen.
Good groove. Pencil
Check it
shit.
out, man. I can't even fucking spell it right.
That.
We've
Metallica.
only been together 20 years.
Get him out my head. Oh, this is probably the get him out my head. Get him out my head.
Get this damn screwdriver
Out of my head. I wonder if that's I wonder what drink. It looks like Jägermeister. I don't think he would drink wine. I think it's Jägermeister. Oh, this. I think that's It's My World. It's my world.
Against time. Insular asshole.
Yeah, it's a fear response. When we're up against a fear.
fuck is he talking
that's
about,
the
you know?
time to move.
Yeah, I gotta read that book. Ugh. I don't know, I think that's pretty good. Call me crazy.
What, the riffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the riffs are cool, man. Just the production.
Mm.
If they would have had, like, Black Album production
Oh,
on it, you know?
yeah. It's a far cry from "Come on!" Remember in Year and a Half in the Life? Come on! Come on, Dick! Come on, Dick! Oh, that's like total Sabbath. Like Alice in Chains.
And Lars plays double time.
Kurt!
Kirk.
Yes.
Kirk.
James is trying to talk to you.
Sorry, man. Yeah, it's a bit stock. Check it out, guys.
I thought that sounded cool.
What is that?
If we don't start earlier and end earlier, I'm just
Earlier.
This is shit.
Is he wearing overalls?
Yeah. That's when I know he gets mad. He has the overalls on. Oh, that riff that Kurt was playing, I thought was good. It was very Sabbathy.
Yeah.
That was totally weird for me.
Metallica.
Why don't you try getting a more solid beat?
Right on.
It's an important part of the record.
It's a hell of an investment. Is he purposely playing
I have no idea.
not
Just to
on
be like a
time?
dick.
I don't know. Or just he couldn't find the
Can't find the
tempo.
one.
Yeah.
Can't find one.
I mean, I'm
Yeah, I was trying to do something different.
used to having the drummer do the beat. You know what I mean? Holding it together.
His Eminem haircut.
Dude, fine.
But Lars said it was stock.
Yeah.
They're both saying it was stock.
I
They
know.
agree.
Kirk Hammett said it
We're in
first.
shit
Yeah.
moods and we're not going to get in
All
on
you want to do
that.
is pick a fucking fight, and
I told you I was in a shit mood.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up with you.
I'm not trying to start any shit. You're acting like a
What
dick.
have you been doing?
Kirk Hammett.
That sounded like he rehearsed that line. It's
Kirk,
like,
Kirk Hammett is lukewarm water.
yeah, totally.
Right?
Totally. It's kind of like he just had that line like, come on, guys, we have better things to do. He sounds like an actor saying a line. Down.
Metallica frontman until further notice. Until then, we have.
Did he just go for alcohol?
He probably went for a lot of things.
Like what?
Probably alcohol and psychological issues.
I've been working on their follow-up to the.
But I would imagine that alcohol was the main culprit. I did it! I want the question! Yeah, man, like, can you imagine if the, like, production was better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty killer groove, man.
Yeah.
It's heavy as shit, you know.
Totally.
They just need a better sound.
I think it's easy
To
to see
bit.
that in those days, Metallica
Gandalf.
brought
You know, the guy is singing. It's in an echo chamber.
Delete that.
Beatles, the Rolling Stones,
He looks like Gandalf.
Totally. Gandalf the Grey.
the British rock music that then developed after that.
He seems like he's like super close with his dad, huh?
Yeah. His dad was a tennis pro.
But he was like a hip dude. Like he was into jazz. Like
Yeah,
jazz and,
but like an extraordinary person just to be a professional at something like tennis.
Yeah. But not in the States, right?
I think he was a pro in Denmark, but I would imagine he played around the world.
European ears and eyes, maybe. You know, you should feel it that it's great for you.
Has Gandalf's staff.
To have your father's perspective on.
Too much.
Too much
fucking perspective.
Because I'm standing next to me.
You have enough room on your phone to
I think so.
record all this
I
shit?
think so.
This is like an hour and 45 minutes.
It'll be all right. I've recorded full movies on this.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
What you say in private?
How do you have so much memory on your phone?
I don't know.
I'm here.
I don't have that many pictures, I guess.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, I've already said it to you countless times.
Say it to him.
It's quo.
He's just stretching.
A little bit from this direction over here.
He's taking a shit.
Yeah.
I think that
I got to take a shit.
there's nothing.
I think anybody could have seen right through that.
Yeah.
They were probably maybe just afraid to tell Lars. It's Willie Nelson, muscular guy in a cowboy hat.
That's the worst.
It's the Pai Mei beard rub.
Yeah.
Our advisor, what would you say? Then I would say, delete that.
That's the best.
I really don't think so.
It sucks, Lars.
I really.
Maybe it's like an intro or something to open the album, but like a full song. Goes to show you can be the drummer of the biggest band in the world and still your dad can do that to you.
Yeah, man.
We're exploring our relationships.
We're exploring ourselves sexually.
Yeah.
Act like the band exists.
We're gonna smell each other.
And if we don't do that,
This is
then
bright sweaters.
We are the co-producers of the process slipping off the planet.
This is a bit of a shit sandwich, though.
Shark sandwich.
Shark sandwich.
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, those look like hair plugs
We will come together
in the front.
right. But
How can you tell?
They look like
knowing
just
when
plugs.
that time will come.
They don't look like real hair
Not knowing
growing.
when that time will come is very,
It's like
very-
bald behind it. I think he took Rogaine. I think that Hammett said that's kind of what saved him from going bald. He was on Rogaine. Hammett's like Gandalf the Grey now.
If
Oh, yeah. Looks like he got into some shape. Hammett.
Yeah, probably still surfing, doing yoga.
if you walked away from
Like, I wonder if Hammett was out of the band, if they would still go on as Metallica.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't. Be, it definitely wouldn't be the same.
No. What is that? That's
Russia. That was Moscow.
Black Album, right?
James,
Yeah.
softer, more caring. Just like I couldn't deal.
That's
with
such a
stuff
cool
that
guitar
I'm looking
that
back
Mustaine
on.
had.
Yeah.
I mean, was it 18, 19 years ago? I mean, I just
Really
felt
metal.
So alienated strength or
I hope they're over 21.
macho bullshit and all that stuff.
Get arrested.
That's beautiful, though.
Yeah. I wonder if he still has the place. It's probably when his hair started going gray. You can see strands of it.
Bad, they sort themselves out.
Yeah, but if it's bad, they're not sorting themselves out. They're
Yeah.
a disorganized. It's a mess.
Yep.
The fuck you talking about?
And what a piece of shit I am. And
Oh, these were great.
This is so. It's torture to watch this.
I love this scene.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you can just tell how much Mustaine is beating himself up.
Yeah.
almost 20 years.
He doesn't want to be number 2,
Yeah.
or arguably number 3, or 4 in the big 4. You know,
Yeah.
15 million albums. That's like impossible. And he's one of the few who've done it, and he can't.
It's an obsession.
Yeah.
He's fixated.
That's how hard he is on himself, or was.
You know, we used to talk about
My
smoking
little
hash from the dirt.
Danish friend.
Through the ground.
What? What does that mean?
I've never had
And this was like right after 9/11 too.
Was it really?
Yeah. So imagine what
feel some guilt.
everybody's feeling. You know, in the back of their minds, they're probably all thinking about 9/11. That face Mustaine made. Then again, he always has that face.
Yeah.
That's not what I said.
Can you imagine if Mustaine didn't make it? How he would be? He'd be feeling 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, it is actually kind of amazing that he did make it.
Yeah.
You know?
Hate me because of you.
I mean,
Metallica they weren't even famous, at all. So like he couldn't walk around and be like, "Yo, I'm from Metallica."
well, P-Cells came out in '84,
Did it?
'85. So I think Metallica was. I think it was '84. I think it was definitely Kill 'Em All was out, but I don't know if it was Ride the Lightning that was out. I wonder what these guys are up to. Like if they're still playing. Echo Brain and Hopscotch, Puppet Show and Spinal Tap.
He's so jealous, man.
Yeah,
So jealous.
it's like there's nothing to be jealous of.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because it's a band and his band wasn't together at the time. Like, I wonder if that's even Echo Brain music that's playing, because it doesn't sound like it's live. Like, at least the music we're hearing now is what they were actually hearing.
Sounds boring to me.
I gotta listen to that again. I don't even have the album, but we probably didn't hear you, Bob.
Is he joking when everyone there worked at a studio?
No, I don't think so.
Being serious?
I think they're being serious because they need work.
Kessel.
A Kessel run. Wow, like not even thinking of their past accomplishments. Like they could have stopped after Master of Puppets and they would have been, legends already.
I've never had a break like this in 20 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was really the Black Album that made it.
Oh, of course.
It's just not.
Surprised James didn't talk to Bob. Hammett always sounds like he's gonna cry.
Yeah.
These burritos are good.
Oh, yeah.
And he probably looks at Bob as an authority figure. Yeah, Kirk definitely was lukewarm water. He could talk. Anybody can talk to Kirk. Mm-hmm. Like, I wonder if Kirk died instead of Cliff, if the band would even be together. Because, like, I have a feeling Lars, Cliff, and James would have been just clawing at each other.
Think so?
Maybe. That must have been to their fan letter. Yeah, fan club. I wonder if that's even out anymore.
What?
So what?
Oh, the newsletter?
Yeah. That's huge internet, 14 months. And this was all by chance. They were just supposed to shoot like an infomercial.
Oh, really?
For like some 1-800 number or some shit. It was supposed to be this short thing. And they just happened to be there when all this went down. They just stayed on.
What are you talking about?
The filmmakers.
Oh, really?
This was supposed to be just an infomercial.
For Metallica?
Yeah. This wasn't meant to go this long. It was supposed to be
Why
like
were they making an infomercial?
To promote the album.
Oh.
That never got made.
Different places, at least.
His blonde streak looks like gray hair.
That's the range of possibilities.
Looks like a young George Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he didn't like cameras following him around, imagine what he felt like during a year and a half in the life.
Yeah.
I still think that.
It's the socialist against the conservative.
So this studio existed and then they bought it? Is that what happened?
I think so. And I think they're still there now.
Yeah.
It's a cool office. Kirk was losing his hair in the back. Like Trujillo's the only member with the full head of hair. And Jason, I think Jason still has a full head of hair.
And then Lars plays a shitty beat behind it.
I want to see Phil like headbanging.
I'm so stuffed, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Gotta take a shit.
Feels pretty good, doesn't it? The next day.
Man, I'm out of as good as I can.
Noon to 4. He's only scheduled from noon to 4.
And kind of the overviews.
Hetfield.
The less time.
Phil becomes kind of a dick about it.
Yeah, well, he's still very raw.
What?
At some point.
He's still very raw from rehab, I'm sure.
It's just like,
Yeah.
like, if he's like, no one could listen to it after I leave.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
You see bars that.
Phil's sweater's not helping.
Phil.
Deep real quick.
Should we sack Phil?
Be a chance. It's like
Sometimes I get my kids Capri Sun.
Gotta get pretty some. I'm so pissed there's no solos on this album. But I think at their 30th anniversary show, The songs they did from Saint Anger, Kirk put solos in.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
I think it's a very trendy thing that's happening right now.
He was all right. He was right.
Yeah, he was right.
My lifestyle determines my death style. Oh,
Somewhere else.
too much surfing.
Somewhere else.
He has a tick during the tick part of the word. Get it? Friend, tick, tick, tick. Then he goes talk. Because tick, tock.
I gotta get rolling, guys. Sorry.
Oh, they were in a groove.
He's searching for donuts.
He's searching to run.
He's like a fucking walking Nike ad right there.
Totally.
I'm sorry, a running Nike ad.
Yes.
I feel like the bad guy saying, I gotta go, because it's for
Oh man.
we all know.
Dude, I've been getting bloody noses like fucking crazy lately.
Oh, no.
You know, it's like the dry, it's the heat, man.
Yeah.
It gets dry. Jeff, does that ever happen to you?
No.
Fuck.
My skin gets dry.
No, dude, I get bloody noses, like crazy ones. They just fucking bleed. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, they sometimes I get scared. I'm like, it's fucking gonna stop.
It's my
me.
heart. I'm never going to stop bleeding. It's the control.
Yeah, fucking control.
Control, control. You must know, learn control.
Did you watch any of that Kevin Smith?
Yeah, I saw all of it.
Wasn't it awesome? He
Yeah.
gets so emotional, man, doesn't he?
Yeah. I get it.
Really in depth, though.
Yeah. No, he's good at that. I'm not a fan of too many of his movies, but I love him as a commentator.
Yeah. I sometimes I find myself watching that Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, the comic book show.
Oh, okay.
Was I in that?
Oh, the reality
Oh,
show?
I'm sorry. No, it's called Comic Book Man.
Right, the cartoon.
No.
No, oh, no,
it's the store that he owns.
Right.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. I saw some of the early episodes, and it just reminded me of stage reality TV.
Yeah.
Like they have to look for situations.
Right.
Because there's nothing too exciting that happens
You know
there.
what else is cool on Netflix? Did you see the toys that made us?
No.
Dude,
there's
they have
a
a whole Star Wars.
Yeah.
Dude, it's amazing. It's so good. It's so in depth. Like how it started, how it dude.
That might bum me out. Anytime I watch something about like the past or the 80s when I was a kid and had more options in life, it bums me. Was she the one who sang with him?
I don't know.
I think so. That's Callie.
Phil's there.
Is he?
Phil's
Oh, he was
there.
behind him?
What the fuck is that all about?
He couldn't get away. Didn't want to leave.
He's got to go to his kid's ballet recital.
Why?
Has trouble detaching.
This is a total rebirth for me.
Detach cable.
No way.
Phil, detach.
Some bed, I don't know.
Look at the size of that thing. Cut the chatter there, Red One. Whatever.
Red 2. It was Wedge.
Yeah.
The result is the same.
Cut the chatter, Red 2.
Red 2.
Life now is when you're kind of
One of the only ones that made it through all three.
Yeah.
Through all three.
But he wasn't in episode 7. Maybe he just retired.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be in
What if
episode
the
9.
actor is still around? The actual actor.
Yeah, I think so. He's Ewan McGregor's uncle.
Really?
Yeah, in real life, he's
They
Ewan
should've put
McGregor's
him in,
uncle.
And they should have put him in.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. They're not looking at nudie magazines.
The present tide.
I felt like it was an agreement. We're gonna
My lifestyle.
before,
Oh shit.
and then
What?
They totally fucked him up.
Yeah.
They went behind his back.
Yeah. I don't want to be like Jason. I don't want you to push me away. Looks like he has herpes.
Yeah, he does.
It does. Wow, his lips must be really dry. Uh-oh. No, I like this rant by Lars.
Oh man.
Yeah. Control is love. Love is control. Wow, I'm stuffed as well. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Miyagi-Do. Miyagi-Do. It's Miyagi.
Miyagi-Do.
Miyagi.
Okay, I realize now that I
Barely even know you.
Huh? Oh.
Fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
I understand that you need
Somebody scream fuck into
I respect
the microphone during a song.
I don't want to end up like Jason.
Oh, he just rubbed that fucking salt in that wound. What a dick. That was a dick thing.
I wonder if Phil said you just want to express it to James, because that looked like an edit.
Yeah.
Those must be heavy-duty fan club members.
What do they pay, like $1 million to...
It's fan appreciation, and maybe it was a contest.
You stupid jock.
He's not even...
You don't know what you're doing. Beat it.
Let's hear it for Elena!
Oh, she's getting it, like, all right.
How crazy is that?
Probably better than Bob.
Matt jamming with Metallica.
She plays with her fingers, man.
That hasn't been played, since Cliff.
I don't know. I guess the playing part, being in the room.
They're always eating, man.
Yeah. Some Nantucket nectar. Like, I wonder, timeline-wise, where was this?
Yeah.
Compared to that session. That must be cool to see him in such a little space.
Yeah.
Like, that moment, it seemed like the band was about ready to break up.
Yeah, man.
Like, I wouldn't have been surprised. It's like, yeah, let's just end it. I wonder if they recorded this album with the 7-string.
I don't know.
Because this was around the time of, the new metal.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the reasons they wanted to be different.
Yeah, like, because this was around, when Biscuit was very close.
Yeah. So they wanted to try and stay relevant, but it backfired.
System of a Down was big. Slipknot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it has a Trouble shirt.
It's on there.
Who does?
Hetfield has a Trouble shirt. It's probably the band. Except the sound is shitty.
Yeah.
Probably the beginning of the.
Yeah.
Imagine hanging on to all that for that long.
And we were wrong.
How does neither of them have cirrhosis?
I know, right?
Aerials
When I was 12.
in the sky.
My mom passed on when I was 16.
It's very thrashy.
Very. Like, I miss solos so much on Saint Anger.
Yeah.
Like, I just want there to be solos. Maybe not that solo.
Yeah, no, definitely not that solo. That's like a really lame solo.
Yeah.
But can I say something that I think is bullshit?
Yep.
This whole fucking solo outlet, dates the whole thing. That's so bullshit.
Like, at first I thought he was joking because he had like kind of a jokey voice, but
in one of these songs, that dates it to this period.
that's right.
Lars's
Well, it's everybody's ego except Kirk's because he doesn't have a solo.
Be like a rule of no solos. There shouldn't be a rule of solos. It should be.
And I agree. I mean, it really.
So let's just have no solos throughout the album. I'm waiting for the lukewarm water comment.
I'm not a really egotistical person. In fact,
I used to have that ringtone.
Really?
Yeah. I was on one of those once. I was on it with a friend, and fucking turned fast, and we both overturned the thing.
Oh man,
those things go fast.
Yeah. Wave runners or whatever.
Ooh. Yeah. Now, I think in the book, the book points out that's not what Jason meant.
Oh really?
Yeah. I think so.
Bubble for a second. I don't know, man.
Like they got the wrong intel.
I think the heart and soul of Metallica from this point on, and has been for a while, since Cliff died, is the three of you guys. I think you will never, ever,
that's a slight to Jason.
a permanent bass player.
That treasure the three of you.
Look at those shorts.
Treasure.
It's like he's wearing black
moment.
boxer briefs. I think Crazy Cabby was, I think he was on K-Rock at the time. So that was like one of the top stations in America.
So you got a press pass.
Yeah. Where he was like an exclusive guy to do it. I wonder what he's doing.
Kiss ass. Being a kiss ass. Poser. They're all posers.
Who, the DJs?
No. The fans.
The fans are posers?
Yeah.
You don't think they like it?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
whole lot of them.
What I'd like to do is
A lot of posers.
This is a song about all the fake people, about all the posers. We fucking hate them.
Change.
Not supposed to say fuck.
Why can't we figure out?
Rider for Axl Pose.
Nah.
It's like summertime, and to me, it's fucking beer drinking weather, yeah?
Eat fuck.
Why does it sound like he's fucking Canadian?
I know, right?
I just want to say cheers.
Mommy! He has that rockabilly shirt on. That was his rockabilly phase.
I want to go out scared. Thought it's gonna make me seem operatic.
I think he still uses a cassette.
You think so?
I think so. I thought I read that.
Tape, and I've had this.
Just for like a control thing. I wonder if that's for real. Like for that song, he's just totally not into it.
Pretty much knocked me out.
I wonder if they'll ever release the Presidio tapes.
Temptation.
And it was about that time that Steve fell asleep, so I didn't want to finish the commentary on my own. I don't know if it would have been boring. It just would have been weird to all of a sudden just hear me, because I think you just heard most of me towards the end, because I managed to stay awake and Steve didn't. So, but anyway, I think we made up for it with our review. So maybe one day we will revisit some kind of Monster Revisited. I'll just go from where we left off. But I hope you enjoyed this podcast. So I'm just gonna and the bonus commentary as well. So I'm gonna do the plugs again. His project called Tofu Mofo. It's his musical solo project under the name Tofu Mofo. And he has an album out called Songs in the Key of Fuck You, The Angry Commuter's Companion. If you hate your job and or commute, you will love this album. I love this album, and I don't mind my job or my commute, but it brings me back to when I really, really did. So, and I'm not just saying this because he's one of my best friends. I actually listened to this album because I enjoy it, not because I'm obligated to do it. So you can find Tofu Mofo at, I don't know if it's a www, so I'll just give you the full address. So it's https://tofumofo-nyc.bandcamp.com. So that's TOFUMOFO. And you can find me, Mike Lane, on Twitter at Mike Lane Act. That's MikeLaneAct. You can email me at mikelaneact@yahoo.com, and on Facebook at Mike Lane Actor. And please comment, share, review on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, or anything else where this podcast is posted. So, once again, thanks for listening, and until next time, enjoy yourselves and have a great one, everybody. Bye.